We should be live. We should have just begun. Let me just check that things are proceeding at pace. There we go. Let me just check that things are proceeding. Yep, audio is coming through. Very nice. Alright. So, today, for anyone that wants to come in for this, I'm going to be doing some editing. Yes, I'm at the beginning of the editing process. We'll be going for a few hours. Haven't had the chance to have a nice long session with the editing thing. I've been doing it in short spurts recently, and yeah, I find that to be most agreeable. Now that I can do it for a bit more of a concerted effort, I'm just going to check one last thing in terms of if the audio on my editing software is actually coming through.
We called ourselves the Veiled Ones.
Ancient masters.
Okay.
Then
All right. Yes, that's quite encouraging. Let's check on this end. Have a nice long session with the editing thing. I've been doing it in short spurts in terms of if the audio on my edit. Let's check on this end. That's quite encouraging.
the Veiled Ones.
Everything is working as it should. Fantastic. People will come in, people won't come in. We shall see how it goes. I'm just going to yammer on about the things I'm doing moment to moment. Maybe talk about some Halo lore stuff in the maybe ambitions for the channel. Whatever comes to mind. Almost didn't make it today. I had so many things to do. Had to fit it all in. Had to come back, cook some food. Mama is too busy to be cooking for herself today because she's a bit of a workaholic and is supporting the household. So cook for her, all that. But now I've done it. I'm full. I'm filled up. I've got my water. We're all there. Where have I gotten in the edit? Well, I'm right at the start. We're not even at the start where the music is playing. Incidentally, we got the music over here. It's pretty cool. It's just Succession Studios' Divination. Yes, that one. And slowed it down a little bit. Had to work out how to work out what an elastic wavelength is to make that work. But so far, over here, we're doing in the preamble. All my videos, they tend to have a bit of a non-music diegetic preamble where it's just spooky voices with reverb and stuff like that, and some build the tension, make them anticipate the real beginning of the video. And I'm just putting those together. I'm just sequencing all that out. And in my mind, I thought, well, what's the best thing to, I worked out what's the best thing to start a video on about the flood. Well, we talk about the precursors. Yes, I almost forgot what they were called. So we've got a bunch of precursory stuff, condensing that essential precursor lore down into some usable stuff. Ooh, we got, remember me? Yes, I remember you. How could I forget you? Sounds good. Just Divination Extended, or more than that. It is Divination, currently in my editing software, I've just slowed it down by 15%. I may extend it a little bit. I extend things as I realize that I need more space for them. That tends to be how it works. But as it is, this is just the original song. If I go to runtime controls, yeah, I slowed it down by 15%. It's at 85% right now, so it's a bit more. It's a bit more paced, I guess. I've always thought that song is very good, but it's a beginning part with the piano. It's going a little bit, it's tapping a little bit too fast. Everything needs to slow down. That's just the way of things. That's just the way it has to be. Anyway, might as well brace yourselves. Got a little bit of a jump scare.
It's very old.
That is a clip from the Halo TV show. I know. I kid. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm using some clips from the Halo TV show because there is that spooky They're kind of like, ooh, we're talking around the issue and we're alluding to it about the flood in Halo 2 in the first episode where what's her name? I forget. The rebel girl is talking about the monster, which is the flood, and what she's saying is quite applicable to the oh yes, you were scared. Yes, you got scared. I knew it. Well, I'm afraid you're gonna have to deal with her whole little speech about the flood. Just, just gotta tell you that because it's pretty good. It's pretty spooky. I've been having some slight issues about making it nice and kind of just the audio on its own because
It's very old.
you can hear the music a little bit in the background there. But and that's because in the mix of the actual episode that I got it from a 5.1 audio source, sometimes even in surround sound stuff, the audio still has a bit of music in the background, and you gotta use, here's another jump scare. The AI voice isolation tool. I'm sorry. AI is scary. Maybe Cortana. Actually, no, Cortana ended up being scary too. Whatever. It's fine. We're all good. We'll live with it. So
The monster.
you see, that one sounds fine. You can't even hear the background music. So it's very old, the monster,
The precursors?
which I'm relating to the precursors because I'm pretty sure that's what the show was doing anyway. I'm sure the show, if it had gone for a few more seasons, would have alluded to the deep lore flood backstory of they were these other aliens, they made all the things, they were basically God. The Forerunners were like, why are you favoring these weird humans over here? They had a bit of a conflict over. They killed all the precursors. The precursors seemingly let them do this because, So now we are here, putting that all together, and we'll just. So I've got them all lined up in my ducks. I haven't added their reverb. I've just worked out the order in which they transpire, basically, which they're gonna come, and then I'm gonna arrange them once I have the whole list. I guess you'll see.
It's very old.
Yeah.
The monster.
The precursors?
Do I use URV? I don't know what that means. The two methods I use is to recently I've started using the AI thing, but I also have let me just if I open this, if I open just got it labeled as audio, I can connect my Adobe to my DaVinci to Adobe this, so I can fuck about with some, I can do some center channel isolation, I can remove certain parts. There are other tools in it that I don't really understand how to use properly, but they are there. I used to use, before I had this AI tool installed here, in this, I'd go onto websites that let you just kind of, you upload a clip and then it will isolate it by audio itself. I did that for some audio from Spartan Ops, I remember in particular. I do not know what URV means.
Very old. It's very old. The monster.
Just reminding
The
myself here.
precursors?
Yeah.
Who are they?
We called ourselves the Veiled Ones.
A bit of like, who are they? Well, here's a bit of allusion to that. That here's their opinion of themselves. Different audiobooks I'm stringing together,
Ancient masters.
answering the question.
Then we became the Lost Ones.
Building suspense.
An ancient, transsentient species long since gone from the galaxy.
Raw information.
Precursors were powerful.
Kind of adjoining stuff that works with it.
Ancient for humans, but also for Forerunners.
It all flows in a certain way.
Older than the light.
See, old theme now.
Ancient beyond our measure.
I sure like dividing things into smaller and smaller sub-themes that flow into each
Older
other.
than this rock.
Those who gave you breath, and shape, and form.
Older than your god.
Some say that long ago, they shaped Forerunners in their image.
Okay, and that's going to lead me into the next set of stuff where we talk about them creating Forerunners and then Forerunners, like life in general, and then that'll lead into them realizing, oh, you're going to give them to humans and stuff. So this is where I left all my clips last time, a bit messy.
Millions of years ago.
Okay, so that's going to go, I remember now.
Though their constructions remain scattered throughout the stars.
That's probably not going to end up in the clip. I feel that's unessential information.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
Okay, see, that's one I'm probably going to use.
They made Forerunners. They made humans.
That could also be one I use.
Those who created us, who formulated the very concept of the mantle, were themselves rich with distilled precedent. I can see their rules written in our genetic codes. We are creatures of precursor law down to the very chains of molecules within us.
Okay, so that's probably going to be cut down a little bit because it's a bit wordy.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
Okay, for example, I feel like the second part here.
We are creatures of precursor law down to the very chains of molecules within us.
That can cut out the middle part, and it just so I've got less things that all fit together. Because I do like to be lean to an extent. You know, I am long edit guy to an extent. Because I made that 37-minute long one, and the one I made about Chief was 19 minutes long. And, you know, the ODST one is 12 minutes long. You know, these aren't short. These aren't, like, bite-sized experiences. These are...
The precursors live.
But I do like to not have too much extraneous stuff. You know, it's
The
long of a
precursors
purpose.
lived in many shapes. Flesh and spirit. Primitive and advanced. Spacefaring and locked to their worlds. Evolved over and over again. Died away. Were reborn. Explored and seeded many galaxies. Over again.
Okay, I probably don't need most of that. Won't use it here, maybe later. That's a lot of that in this decision-making process. I think I meant to incorporate that earlier, but it didn't really. Didn't really fit.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
It knows us,
Ah, right, yes.
inside and out.
Okay, that's more flood. I mean, more flood descriptions in the Halo TV show. That's gonna be involved in this.
Species and erase them when they felt the need.
There we go. There's another one.
Smells our fear.
Okay, all right. So that'll bookend. All right. Because because of the work I've done on it before, I've done some organization of all these clips. You know, I'm sub-denominating. Like with the main bank over here, I've got. This is all the stuff for the first section. This is the stuff I worked out that was more immediately useful. That sort of things.
It was
Also, I haven't brought any visual imagery any in yet. It's all over here.
long ago decided. Forerunners will never bear the mantle.
Okay, that'll... Okay, wait. No, that can stay over here for the moment. Alright, so just organize... Just all these over here. Yeah. Also hope you don't mind if I use the stream as as a Q&A. Go ahead. Funnily enough, I'm thinking about doing a Q&A because I figure, you know, some people would care. I mean, case in point, you want to ask me questions. Ask me all the questions you would like. I'll be very confused if you start talking to me about geopolitics, but I guess you can ask it. I can't promise I have an answer for that. But Halo and nerd stuff and editing, ooh, I can answer so many questions there. All right.
Millions of years ago.
That's probably not going to be involved. Okay.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
That's one of these.
We are...
They made thousands of other species and erased them when they felt the need.
Okay, so that's the one at the end, because that will lead directly into the next topic, in a sense.
Creators of all life in our galaxy. The originals. They made Forerunners. They made humans.
Okay. Yeah.
Those who created us, who formulated the very concept of the mantle, were themselves rich with distilled precedent. We are creatures of...
Maybe that... I don't think I need that one, actually.
Those who created us, who formulated the very concept of the mantle,
Okay, that could work.
were themselves rich with distilled precedent.
Okay, that line doesn't really work here. Maybe I can bring back, actually, those here.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
That's like, wait.
It knows us,
That kind of fits in with this.
inside and out.
There's a bit of thematic synergy there. See if
Creators of all...
where did I leave off?
Forerunners in their image.
Forerunners in their image.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
Okay, that's
The originals.
Those who created us, who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
maybe right.
Some say that long ago they shaped Forerunners in their image.
Those who created us, who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
All right. So as you're going to see, I've said it briefly, but I'm assembling my various audio pieces and how they're going to sequence to each other, but I'm not going to process them with like the reverb and adjusting their audio levels until I have them all sequenced, because it's just more efficient that way. It makes the second half of that process a bit boring, because you know, like adding all the reverb and stuff, it's less interesting. But yeah.
Forerunners in their image.
Those who created us, who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
I think I can.
The originals.
Formulated the very concept of the mantle.
Actually, I think we can atomize this just a little bit more. Where I think this actually.
Life in our galaxy.
So. Okay, so.
Forerunners in their image.
Those who created us,
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
The originals.
That kind of flows. So from the originals would then come.
They made Forerunners. They made humans.
Yep.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
Okay. Yeah. This kind of flows.
The mantle.
The originals.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
You know, one small thing that this process has made me grateful for. I'm very grateful that the audiobooks for the 3 Forerunner novels all have different people that narrate them, because it means making like the ambition of not having 2 of the same narrator next to each other becomes infinitely easier. Question. Didn't see it before. Thoughts on current state of the Halo franchise? I feel like things are going downhill, but maybe I'm just thinking of the show. Oh boy. How do I feel about the Halo franchise overall? That's a good question. Lots of uncertainty. I sort of have a question. I sort of have a notion. I don't expect it to ever reach the massive highs of times gone by. It has sort of degraded in the broad sense, in the broad appeal, due to a whole bunch of mismanaging problems. Everyone knows this at this point if they're invested in this topic. Things have changed. You know, there's new management. There's new. Halo Infinite was, to me, as a relatively new fan that came in. Well, the first new game that I experienced was Halo Infinite because I became a fan in 2018. So that was after Halo Wars. That was definitely after Halo 5. I think actually no. Fireteam Raven was the first new game I experienced. I went to an arcade to go play that. It was okay. It was fine. It took all my pound coins though. Very rude. Halo Infinite was enough for me. I didn't consider it like a knockout success, but especially given what I later learned about its development and the problems involved and the nightmares of the bureaucracy and that is inherent in making for a massive studio with all these moving pieces and investors and stakeholders and boards and committees and all that. I'm for the campaign, I think it's enough. I'm happy with what Halo Infinite gave us in terms of the campaign, both in terms of gameplay and with the story. I was very happy with the story actually. So long as its potential is eventually realized in the game, in a sense that Halo Infinite always should have been. Like Halo 7 needs to be Halo Infinite in concept again, but fully realized. We need all the various characters and concepts and gameplay elements and the multiple biomes, and there was the idea of the Crashed Infinity being a hub for you to get quests to go do stuff. And obviously, like Atriox as a character actually being present. We should learn what more specific things about the Harbinger and the Endless are, though the recent book did give us a pretty solid idea of where the Endless fit into the cosmology of the Halo universe. Um, Multiplayer wise, I know what everyone thinks. I'm not a big multiplayer guy. I'm a single player lonely gamer. Actually, no, that's true. I have friends that I play local multiplayer stuff with, or rather, over stuff. So I'm not a competitive multiplayer person. I never really have been. I don't have the reflexes for it. I don't have the It kind of fucks with my enjoyment to an extent. The only game that's multiplayer that I've played an extensive amount of is Team Fortress 2, and that was almost exclusively as classes that I didn't need to aim. Like the medic and the engineer. Those are the ones that I actually was successful at. I can't speak to the multiplayer. Everyone knows it was a disappointment to the multiplayer crowd. The stuff that I cared about, I got. I hope they can keep it going somehow. I I'm sort of on the direction of making a trilogy of remakes. I don't really feel like we need it, and if it's going to be the same thing anyway, then it's not massively exciting. Like kind of outside of the new thing excitement. I know I did that sort of soy face reaction to the actual thing, but that's just I let myself kind of get carried away with it. In an intellectual sense, it's and TF2 mentioned. Yeah, TF2 mentioned. TF2. TF2 got its fucking lore completed. I never thought it would fucking happen. They completed the comic series that told like the essential lore of TF2 after what 9 years? 9 years from chapter 6 to chapter 7 or whatever. Fucking hell! I haven't actually read it. It's been so off my radar for so long that But anyway, Halo isn't doing super great. It's in a weird state with the actual remake itself because it's having to deal with the looming threat of GTA coming out probably around the time of the anniversary of the Halo franchise, which means it's either going to have to come out way earlier or way later. Personally, I prefer if it came out way later because I can wait. I don't need it to come out super soon if it's just going to damage the brand more, you know? Because, to an extent, I care about the brand being healthy, because that means the franchise overall is healthy, which means I'll get more of the thing that I like. All that going on. Then again, even if the franchise is fucking like failing, they're probably going to keep up pumping out books, which is I'm a big Halo book fan. Could you tell? Parasite's Wakes. I assume it's coming out with the remake. Otherwise, like, be weird timing, right? There's got to be a tie-in there. My opinion isn't terribly different to Massive. Halo Infinite was okay for me overall. Actually, no. Overall, no. Wait. Gameplay, but campaign was what I wanted. Gameplay. I said it already. I'm just tripping over my words. There. Halo 7 needs to come out at some point, and it needs to rock everyone's socks. It needs to really blow everyone out the park. Otherwise, we're so fucking cooked. Halo 7 can take a while. That's fine. Hey, favorite Halo book. I should probably start editing again whilst I'm thinking about that. What is my Halo book? It might just be The Fall of Reach, because it made a genuinely pretty big impact on me when I read it. I was fairly new to sci-fi at the time, but like its particular combination of like how the Spartan program is depicted and John's POV and the moral grayness of it all, combined with some genuinely quite hardening elements. That it just hit me the right way, and it made me sort of perk up in terms of what the Halo universe is all about and stuff, and what it could be. And I read it at the right time too, because I had just finished Halo 3, and I thought, hey, maybe I should get more invested. And I read the original 3 books, The Fall of Reach, The Flood, and First Strike, more or less whilst playing Halo ODST and Reach. And then by the time I got to Halo 4, I was like, I'm now got a new perspective on these two characters, and I'm going into a game that's more character driven and acknowledges those books to a greater extent. And so it kind of coalesced in my experience of Halo 4 being real good. So Fall of Reach, other contenders would be New Blood, Epitaph. About a year ago I re-listened to Ghosts of Onyx, and that went up way in my rankings because I don't know why it didn't hit me before, but it's like it's fucking so fucking solid. It's like a much more objectively speaking, it's essentially the same stuff as themes and content kinds of story it is than the Fall of Reach, but way more polished in comparison because there's lots of rough edges with Fall of Reach. It's probably why it's got a re-release and is getting and got a correction after that re-release and is getting another re-release now. All three of them having stuff. Anyway, I'm yapping too much. Gotta edit. Yes, Fall of Reach, Epitaph, New Blood. Yeah.
I can see their rules written in
Okay, wait.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
The originals.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
Okay. And that could then lead into. There we go. Quan Ha, that was her name. Quan Ha talking about how they know us. Oh boy. Called up, please get a restraining order.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
It knows us.
Maybe
The originals.
maybe it's the other way around actually. What's it?
Made forerunners.
We are creatures of precursor law down to the very chain.
Yeah, I was right the first time. Put that there, put that there, put that there, put that there, and then when it all sequences together, it'll sound something like. That's not the button I wanted to press. That's not the button I wanted to press. Oh, well, that's a lot of text just got into the chat. One second.
Created us,
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
The originals.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
It knows us.
We are creatures of precursor law down to the very chains of molecules within us.
Inside and out.
You see, it's kind of like a,
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
which is
It knows us.
that's the same thing said, but it's said in different words. It kind of works,
We are creatures of precursor law down to the very chains of molecules within us.
which is
Inside and out.
you see it kind of works together. You see the vision slowly coming together. What's that? The Flood and Fall of Reach are the last I need to read in the Bungie era books. It's ironic because those are the first two. Out of all the ones I've read so far, Ghost of Onyx is awesome, and from just recently, Ghost of Onyx is real good, is real solid. I agree. I think Contact Harvest is going to be an all-time GOAT, though. I've read Contact Harvest only once, and it made a reasonably, like, the emotionality of it, like the sentimentality of it did very much pick at my mind, but it's been so long that I don't remember so much about it. I've read, like, Fall of Reach, by which I mean in an audiobook form, because I'm dyslexic. Reading is hard. Like, 5-6 times. A couple of those times because I was gathering clips for it, but the other 4, like, just because I like it. So I know that book pretty well. Contact Harvest might, like, hit me all over again if I listen to it. Again. I cannot get through Epitaph for the life of me, but maybe that's a good thing because I've got like 50 hours of Star Wars books to get through for this Vader. Oh fuck! That's so unbelievably based. You're getting all of the. What books are they? Is it just Legends? Is it just canon? Are you mixing the two together? Can I add another one to the list? Because I recently listened to Karen Travis's No Prisoners, which has a few, like, the parts of it are about Anakin are like, they really pop in terms of the content for it. Just saying, not saying you have to listen to that one in addition, but it might be cool. Favorite Halo character besides John and Cortana? No easy out. Halsey. Mine has always been and will be Emil. Emil's? I don't. That's Halsey. She is my morally dubious queen. She did do things wrong, but Parangosky being presented as somehow morally superior, just because she's, I don't know, more personally nice to people. Uh, Even though she signed off on all the stuff, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Karen Travis, not all of Karen Travis's stuff is golden, but most of what she touches is gold. So, I want to see a book just about Halsey. Like the first third of The Fall of Reach and parts of Ghost of Onyx have her as the protagonist. I want a book entirely from her PV. I want a fucking deep dive. I don't care what era. It could be any era. Actually, correction. I want to at least incorporate the aspects of her when she's arrested and she's like a prisoner within Oni working for them, um, post Halo 3, and like the depression involved and all that. It's touched very small amount in a recent Halo Waypoint Chronicle, but yeah. Funny enough, you don't gotta believe it, but at the signing, I asked Jen Taylor what her favorite book was, and she said hers was The Fall of Reach because of what it gave to her character. Yes, that's so cool. Also, it's cool that you met her. I wanna meet them one day and just like shake their hand. You did cool. You made an impact on me. Thanks. Nothing too weird. Just tell them the things I already know. She must be thinking about like oh god, you're right, yeah. I mean, the most iconic thing for her character that I think about from Fall of Reach is the ending, where she's having the inner monologue, where she's just discovered the full extent of the Spartan program and what was done to John, and she vows to herself, within the limits of my mission, and without compromising the security of humanity and the UNSC, accepting those, I will never allow anything terrible or bad or unbecoming to happen to this man again. His well-being and his safety is now my top priority in existence, which is very much carried through in everything else. And it's such a they didn't even know where the franchise was going at that point, but it's still carried through all the way to fucking Infinite, and it's like, oh yeah, that's franchise synergy for you. I was going to do Legends, but I did really like Master of Evil, so now I don't know. It's your choice. You can go pure canon. You can incorporate bits of Legends. Most audience members won't know unless it's the Plagueis audiobook, which everyone knows the voice from. Also, Thrawn Alliance has a lot, and I want to use it. I have not read any of the modern Thrawn stuff, only the Legends Thrawn trilogy. I hear they're pretty great. As a professional Halsey hater, I just won't react to that. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. She is a bastard, though. I'm not gonna deny that. But she's my bastard, morally dubious queen. That's it. Anyway.
In us.
Inside and out.
They made Forerunners.
Yeah.
They made humans.
That doesn't really fit as well anymore.
They shaped Forerunners in their image.
Those who created us.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
Who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
The originals.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
It knows us.
We are creatures of precursor law, down to the very chains of molecules within us.
Inside and out.
Okay, right.
They made thousands of other species and erased them when they felt the need.
Okay, wait, no, this needs to come earlier, because...
Millions of years ago.
A culture older and more advanced than the Forerunners, and zero technology.
Died away, were reborn, explored, and seeded many galaxies.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Okay, wait, no, I need to change this just a little bit, because this needs to go a little bit here, because it's an answer to that. You see?
The mantle.
The originals.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
It knows us.
We are creatures of precursor law, down to the very chains of molecules within us.
Inside and out.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
Okay, I think the best place to put it here is... You know what I want most in a Halsey book? Actually, no, but what I might like even more than a Halsey book is a book or some other thing about Miranda Keyes and her relationship with Halsey, and like how she feels in her. And I had a specific vision for if I was given like the opportunity to write for the Halo franchise. Realistically, more like a book, because I want to be a novelist anyway. I've got ideas for original stuff as it stands. If I was given a book, it would be about Miranda Keyes during the 2 years where she's the captain of the Amberclad prior to the events of the Halo trilogy, going off and doing stuff. A Spartan is a Spartan group is on her ship. There's the opportunity to like have the comparison of we both have the same mother figure. Did she care about you more than me, etc. We can explore exactly what that is. And specifically, I had the idea that either the earlier version of Cortana, or more easily, Kalmaya, the previous AI2 Cortana, is sent. A fragment of her is sent to assist her Halsey's daughter, because Halsey somehow catches wind of some bullshit ONI thing that's happening in relation to something her daughter's embroiled in, to go and help her. So there's like this strange way where she's helping her daughter from afar. We keep the aspect where canonically they are estranged to the point of not really seeing each other for years, but we get to show that Halsey still cares and stuff like that. I shouldn't get into it. I'll make like a stream about like here's my premise for a Halo thing. That's professional Halsey here. Just stopping by to take care. Hope you make a lot of progress in your work. That being said, new distraction thought on Disney Star Wars. I'm gonna put it this way. Me becoming a Halo fan where I was is not an accident, because just prior, it's like fate. My uncle, his phone plan gave him an Xbox. Don't know why phone plans give people that, but they do. Also, cool to you came by. Add a bird with. Wait, that's what your username is? With arms? A bird with arms. That's just strange. Oh. A bird with arms. Cool to see you. Let me said. Disney Star Wars. Okay, so what? No, come back. In late 2017, a phone company gives my uncle an Xbox. He has no use to it. He gives it to me. My mother asks me, Rowan, dear boy, my baby boy who I love, would you like some games for it for Christmas because it's coming up? Why not? And I say, yes, why not get me, could I have Fallout 4 and, oh, Halo, I've never played that. That's the Xbox game. Get me that. Get me the Master Chief Collection for Xbox One. Yes. And just prior to that Christmas, I went to see The Last Jedi. And I was not happy with it. It did not strike me well. It was I was somewhat disappointed. You might even say bitterly so. And so there was a gaping hole in my heart where my adoration for Star Wars, my up until then lifelong fandom of it, was sort of broken as a chain. And something else needed to take its place. And lo and behold, I play Halo at that time. And it becomes the new fixation. That's the most essential thing I can say about how I feel about Disney Star Wars. I don't think it's gotten massively better since then. Andor was good though. I liked Andor.
The very chains of molecules within us.
Inside and out.
They made thousands of other species and erased them when they felt the need.
Okay.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
It knows us.
They made forerunners. They made humans.
We are creatures of precursor law, down to the very chains of molecules within us.
Inside and out.
They made thousands of other species and erased them when they felt the need.
Yeah, that's the answer to that question. All right, we've completed another little section, so we've gotten to the point where they're going to talk about. Oh, you rose up against us. Why did you rise up against us? That was very mean. Goodness. What did I? Yeah. Okay. Right.
Sees our
Right. So.
secrets. It's been here.
Wait.
Smells our fear.
Okay, wait, now that needs to go before here. Alright. Okay, so next.
Millions of years ago.
Okay, need the parts.
The culture older and more advanced than the Forerunners. That means Tier 0 technology.
Died away, were reborn, explored, and seeded many galaxies.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Okay, these, I don't need these. And these can go, like, to the back of the queue. Don't need them for a while.
Seas are.
Okay.
It was long ago decided.
Ah, here we go.
Forerunners will never bear the mantle.
Yep, that's very much in it.
We announced to your kind long ago that you were not the chosen ones to receive the mantle, the blessing of rule and protection of life and change that thinks. That blessing was to be given to others, to those you now call human.
Decided how?
Through long study. The decision is final. Humans will replace you. Humans will be tested next.
Okay.
You breathe hypocrisy, and Forerunners never see the mantle for what it is, a test merely, and all ultimately fail.
Okay, let me just cut that down a little bit. I've heard a lot of people in the Halo community saying they came from Star Wars. Funny how that happens. The really ironic thing is that I came to Halo during its, like, post The Last Jedi. Like, the Halo 5 is Halo's The Last Jedi. And I went from one franchise that had just experienced its Last Jedi to another franchise that had just experienced its Last Jedi. But to me, it was new and novel. So it just ended up working out. And the Episode 9 equivalent of Halo, which is Halo Infinite, is much better conceptually and in practice as an approach to the actual Episode 9 of Star Wars. So there is a positive comparison to be had there. That's more than just I needed something new.
Men and Forerunners never see the mantle for what it is, a test merely, and all ultimately fail. Humanity will be tested next, and like you, they will feed and grow fat on preeminence and power, on hubris and righteousness, and when they are at their ripest, the flood will feast once more.
Okay, some of that I can't really use.
And like you, they will feed and grow fat on preeminence and power, for what it is, a test merely, and all ultimately fail. Humanity will be tested next, and like you, now, they will feed and grow fat on preeminence and power, on hubris and righteousness, and when they are at their ripest, the flood will feast. He will be tested next.
Okay. Right, so here's our little usable bits here.
Seas are secrets.
Here's our sequence.
It's been here.
Okay, yeah, I know where that goes. Because they all kind of work in sequence that I was already imagining. Okay. So we end...
They made thousands of other species and erased them when they felt the need.
Smells our fear.
It was long ago decided. Forerunners will never bear them.
Okay, right.
They made thousands of other species and erased them.
Smells our fear.
Okay, Smells Our Fear needs to go at the end, actually. So we can take that out of the equation for the moment.
It was long.
Can't be that one, because that's the same narrator.
We announced to your kind long ago that you were not the chosen ones to receive the mantle.
That's pretty solid. What about this one?
Decided how?
Through long study. The decision is final. Humans will replace you.
Okay. Alright, that's... Right,
The decision is final.
okay, yeah, alright.
We announced to your kind long ago that you were not the chosen ones to receive the mantle.
And erase them when they felt the need.
We announced to your kind
Okay.
the blessing of rule and protection of life and change that thinks.
Okay, that might be worth putting as one big thing, like they're both next to each other.
That blessing was to be given to others, to those you now call human.
The decision is final. Humans will replace you. Humans will be tested next.
Okay, well, I can see some synergy growing.
And Forerunners never see the mantle for what it is, a test merely, and all ultimately fail. Humanity will be tested next.
Humans will replace you. Humans will be tested next.
Ha, it's the same.
Humanity will be tested next.
Will replace you. Humans will.
Okay, maybe... Okay, I can't have them saying the exact same thing. The way it says here is better it's more dramatic because Didact's voice actor is pretty dramatic in that way. Also, I should take some drink because gotta be hydrated. There we go. Nice big drink.
It was long ago decided. Forerunners will never bear the mantle.
And long ago that you were not the chosen ones to receive the mantle. The blessing.
And Forerunners never see the mantle for what it is. A test merely, and all ultimately fail. Humanity will be tested next.
The decision is final.
The blessing. That blessing was to be given to others. But you were not the chosen ones to receive the mantle.
It was long ago decided. Forerunners will never bear the mantle.
That blessing
I think I have a different problem.
was to be given long ago.
The decision is final. Humans.
Wait, I can make
No,
this
you.
work. Atomizing this.
Is will final.
The blessing of rule and protection of life and change that thinks. That blessing was to be given to others.
Okay.
Humans will replace you. It was long ago decided. Forerunners will never bear the mantle.
Okay, this isn't quite working.
Go, but you were not the chosen ones to receive the mantle.
The decision is final.
Not the chosen ones to receive the mantle. The blessing of rule and protection of life and change that thinks.
I think I have to make that whole thing one and resist the urge to atomize it as much as I want to, because I don't want the same voice with two different quotes talking over each other, because it's a little bit confusing. I think I broke that rule in the Cortana video a few times, because Jen Taylor is naturally the voice that's everywhere. But
And Forerunners never see the mantle for what it is. A test merely, and all ultimately fail.
Rule and protection of life and change that thinks.
The decision is final.
That blessing was to be given to others.
okay.
Humans will replace you.
Humans will replace you.
It was
Humanity will be tested next. Merely, and all
Right, here's something.
It was long ago decided. Forerunners will never bear the mantle.
Okay, don't need that. Don't need that.
The decision is final.
That blessing was to be given to others.
Humans will replace you.
humanity will be tested next.
I'm entering my flow state. It's happening slowly. Ooh, hello. Hi, glad to catch this. Looking forward to updated Cortana tribute. What? Updated Cortana tribute. Whoa. When did I say that? I didn't say that. Oh god, the thought of doing another one of those genuinely scares me. I'm not gonna update the Cortana tribute. I'm gonna do a commentary on it. Is that what you meant? Getting a flush of fear there, thinking about all the work I did in the Cortana video. That was ridiculous, a ridiculous thing I did. Why did I do that? Because I needed to, for me. But that was why.
But the precursor.
Okay, sorry, gotta lock. Yeah, calm, lock back in. So what did I?
Next.
Will be ended next.
Smells like fear.
And like you, they will feed and grow fat on preeminence and power, on hubris and righteousness.
Chill, no worries. Okay. I only react in such a way because it was a pretty substantial effort, that Cortana video. Partially because I was making it on not bad software, but like inferior software on a much inferior device. But also because it was just a really big project, man.
They say Forerunner.
The entire timeline of media was like 9 hours, 9.5 hours long. like that I used for it and cut down into basically everything. But what do I need now? I need the part where they betray their creators.
But the precursors hadn't simply faded from the galaxy, as Forerunners believed.
They say Forerunners rose up, unprovoked, and destroyed them. The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization, the greatest crime in Forerunner history. Forerunners ascended to the mantle. Yet on more than one occasion, our survival, pride, and arrogance took precedence. Forerunner humility gave way to desperate anger. Once we rose up against our very creators.
Long ago, when it became apparent that the precursors were about to erase Forerunners, there was a war.
And yet the heirs of those who committed the unspeakable crime that began this madness. A crime against our creators.
What Forerunners do when their anger and fear takes...
Yeah, I've got a lot of clips. I think you've got a lot of clips of this.
We took away the
Why did you, what gave you the idea of doing an updated Cortana tribute? I will do a tribute on the Joyous, and I may do a video kind of focusing just on the relationship between John and Cortana, but there will never be... The reason I made the Cortana tribute the way it was is because I figure she's not gonna come back again. If they bring her back again, I might actually be out. In terms of like that would be a point too far in terms of my investment in this franchise. But she's gone. Her story is absolutely complete. With maybe they'll do a prequel one day, because she's alive for what, like 3 years prior to the original trilogy. She could have done something in there, be involved in some story.
We took away the mantle of responsibility, and like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
Those who created you were defied and hunted. Said, most were extinguished. A few fall beyond your reach.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority. So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life, and the change that is thought. You drove us from our galaxy, our field of labor. You chased us across the middle distance to another home, and destroyed that home. Did all that you could to destroy every one of us. Warriors refused this fate, and so we drove our creators to near extinction, and then to madness.
Okay, there's a lot of clips, now that I remember, about them killing
Short chain molecules, relatively simple and apparently inert.
Organic.
They're neither alive nor capable of life. Creation continues.
A few were spared. Some adopted new strategies for survival.
Dust.
They went dormant. Others became dust that could regenerate.
Yeah, it's the dust one. Okay, so move that way.
Sees our secrets.
Forms.
It's been here. All that time.
Okay, so Caesar secrets. I want Caesar secrets. That's relevant. Nope, I didn't want that. Move that over here. Flow state. I'm gonna re-enter my flow state, damn it. Huh? Great to hear you're updating the... okay. I'll go up a bit when... It'll go up a bit when the... probably not. I meant... Did I write happy instead of unhappy? Unhappy. Fucking... Okay, so I think I did a dictation typo in when I spoke to you in that comment. Wait, what? How do you pronounce it? Canis? I can't pronounce your username. I'm sorry. I meant happy. I do dictation typing. It's a really bad habit because dyslexia typing is hard. And I didn't mean that I'd update it, but yeah. Right, how do you even go about the end of the Flub tribute? The galaxy, right? Haven't won yet, and we probably never can. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. No. I did not say it that way. I did a mistake in the typing. Also, I meant that it would go up a bit, not in terms of like the views. The view count would go up. Whatever. How would I end the Flood tribute? With a motif relating to how it was defeated in the first place, and the sort of push against it, like people rallying and rallying against it as the ultimate combined enemy. And in addition, sorry, I'm tired. And it would end, the stinger at the very end would be, but they're still out there. So it's not technically complete. So it's not quite with my philosophy that I just described with the Cortana one, but my logic was that this would be the ultimate Cortana video for all time, and there would never need to be another one made. Theoretically, down the road, there could be another Flood one made. But for the moment, we're just where we are. Yeah, okay, so we've got a lot of stuff here. Gotta work out which of this is the most important. This is the slightly intimidating aspect.
That blessing was to be given to others.
Humans will replace you.
Humanity will be tested next.
Okay.
But the precursors hadn't simply faded from the galaxy as forerunners.
That's it doesn't feel like it quite fits, but it might be a beginning. Maybe it can be made to fit.
Smells like fear.
That could also be a start.
They say Forerunners rose up, unprovoked, and destroyed them. The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power. The precursor.
Okay, I don't want the first part of that because within the stuff I've already stated,
The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled.
the Forerunners were not unprovoked in that sense, because the whole thing of whether or not they're provoked or unprovoked is from an aspect of the Forerunner trilogy of books where there's an unreliable narrator. Because basically, it depends if you're listening to the Flood or the Forerunner history on it. Because there's a character called the Primordial who is basically the Flood before he is the Flood, or rather, he's the Gravemind. He becomes the Gravemind, but he was a precursor prior to that.
Our the greatest crime in Forerunner history. Forerunners assert our duty to the mantle. Yet on more than one occasion, our survival, pride, and arrogance took precedence. Forerunners' humility gave way to desperate anger. Once we rose up against our very creators. Took precedence.
Maybe.
Forerunners assert our duty to the mantle. Yet on more than one occasion, our pride and arrogance took precedence.
Okay, that's could be a good one actually.
Forerunners' humility gave way to desperate anger. Once we rose up against.
Okay, maybe I think if you cut out that bit in the middle, I quite like that as a beginning.
Took precedence. To create precedence.
Smells like fear.
Once we rose up against our very creators.
Okay. Okay, wait.
Our survival, pride, and arrogance took precedence.
Smells like fear.
Okay, that kind of fits together. That kind of fits together.
But the precursor.
Okay.
Long ago, when it became apparent that the precursors were about to erase Forerunners, there was a war, and Forerunners erased them.
Okay, wait. It's got to incorporate these essential
Erased.
elements.
And yet the heirs of those who committed the unspeakable crime that began this madness. A crime against our creators.
Maybe.
What Forerunners do when their anger and fear takes charge.
Oh wait, no. Wait, God, I've got too much material.
We took away the mantle of responsibility, and like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
Those who created you were defied and hunted, the captive said. Most were extinguished. A few fled beyond your reach.
Not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority. So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life, and the change that is thought. You drove us from our galaxy, our field of labor. You chased us across the middle distance to another home, and destroyed that home. Did all that you could to destroy every one of us.
With the contrasting element of were the Forerunners provoked or were they not, I want to lean into the idea that they weren't, which is effectively the Flood POV, because it kind of adds more dramaticism, I guess. So and it is a flood video, so I guess in a sense it should be at least a little bit showing their perspective on things. But mostly people's perspective on them being scary and all that.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority. So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and light.
Okay.
Long ago, when it became apparent that the precursors were about to erase Forerunners, there was a war, and Forerunners erased them.
Yeah. No. Put that over there.
Forerunners assert
Humanity will be tested next.
the precursor.
I just realized something. Oh, I just realized something. I just realized something. I shouldn't draw attention to it because that'd be silly. And I just realized there's a problem with doing streams regarding stuff that I've screen recorded, and I've probably made the mistake already. Because I had Discord open on on some of the things I've recorded, and people can now go back and read those. Not over here, but I've done it a couple times already. Nothing. There's nothing to see there. Certainly, no. I'm just gonna unlink. I'm just gonna unlink some of these clips and not show off strange DMs I've had with people. Certainly not. Certainly not. It's a bit embarrassing, I just realized. Silly me. Do I have those? Maybe I can say, because obviously because I've screen recorded all these things. Some of them have what it was on the screen at the time, which isn't really, did not consider that because I'd only ever been using these in the context of just for me, and I don't really want DMs I've had with people. You live and learn, I suppose. Because I had not considered that other people would see these at the time. The visuals of them, I mean. And as we go, I guess I'm just gonna do my better diligence to make sure I'm not accidentally blaring DMs I've had with people, just, Discord friends out there. The stream's only, you can't make out the words, don't worry. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. But it's good that the details of private conversations I was having with people whilst listening to the audiobooks and kind of going in between, and maybe I had it open and sort of waiting for their reply for like some serious and not so serious conversation was open, so it's not so bad, I suppose. It's good that I've got it on the smaller screen as well, like within the screen, so it works out. Crisis somewhat alerted in my mind.
Humanity will be tested next.
Next.
Forerunners assert our duty to the mantle. Yet on more than one occasion, our survival, pride, and arrogance took precedence.
It's not our fear.
Once we rose up against our very creators.
I don't love that. It doesn't really have a lot of impact. It's a bit wordy. It's not punchy enough.
Forerunners assert our duty to the mantle. Yet on more than one occasion, our survival, pride, and arrogance took precedence. You could not accept our judgment.
Humanity will be tested next.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority.
That's very punchy. That's much more punchy, actually.
Seize our secrets.
The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization, the greatest crime in Forerunner history.
A crime against our creators.
What Forerunners do when their anger and fear charge.
We took away the mantle of responsibility, and like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
Okay, wait, I'm seeing a better vision here.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority.
We took away the mantle of responsibility, and like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life.
We took away the mantle of responsibility, and like
So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life, and the change that is thought. You drove us from our galaxy, our field of labor. You chased us across the middle distance to another home, and destroyed that home. Did all that you could to destroy every one of us. Thought. So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life, and the change that is thought.
Okay, we can atomize
you
this.
took away the mantle of responsibility.
Wait.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority.
We took away the mantle of responsibility.
So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life, and the change that is thought.
And like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
Okay, so how do I incorporate that with this?
Forerunners assert our duty to Yet on more than one occasion, our survival, pride, and arrogance took precedence.
Smells our fear.
Once we rose up against our very creators.
Okay.
Humanity will be tested next.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority.
We took away the mantle of responsibility.
So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life, and the change that is thought.
You know, we can show
and
that.
Life.
Okay, what if...
Never expected from those we gave design and life.
Smells our fear.
Next.
Smells our fear.
You could not accept...
Wait, I think, yeah.
Humanity will be tested next.
Alright, yo, I'm seeing it. Just going a bit non-verbal because I'm locking in. How can it
Will
happen?
be tested next.
Smells our fear.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority.
We took away the mantle of responsibility.
So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life.
And like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
Okay. That's working out. That's okay.
You drove us from our galaxy, our field of labor. You chased us across the middle distance.
Sees our sea.
The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization.
Okay. Seeing.
Greatest crime in Forerunner history.
All right, secrets and those two need to go together.
Crime. A crime against our creators.
What
Maybe this.
runners do when their anger and fear takes charge.
Once we rose up against the greatest crime in Forerunner history.
Sees our secret.
The greatest crime in Forerunner history. A crime.
I saw Star Wars edits. I mean, if only there was a whole conversation going on now. Wait, he said that streams only for the most part, some of them are mostly legible, but I'll pretend I saw nothing. You saw nothing. I wasn't doing straight. No, okay. Thoughts on Halo 2. It's the only game you don't give your thoughts on in the commentaries. Oh, don't I? Also, RX Master's newest edit uses your Nearlight extension, which reminded me, I didn't even know that. Do you mind if I use your extensions? Please use my extensions. I'd be so happy if you did. That'd be wonderful. For Star Wars edits, obviously. Which one were you thinking of? What's that user? RK Master X. Okay. Master X. Okay, Master X. Oh, I know him. I know him. I'm a fan of him. He's a cool editor guy. He's a fucking machine. I don't know how he does it so quickly. Well, it's probably because he's less picky about like certain audio things than I am. He's he loves his color grading. That fellow. Oh boy, he really does. Which video did he use? Which one do you use? He uses a lot of songs like repeatedly. I'd be very curious which thing he used it for. Man, he's real successful. Sometimes I think I should be less particular about the particulars, but then I think I'd lose my sense of identity as a little editing artist.
You drove us from our galaxy, our field of labor. You chased us across the...
Like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
The precursors did not defend themselves.
You know, I can just put this on the straw, and then I've got it like down there. There we go. End of the Aggravator tribute. Damn, I hadn't watched it because I'm not like a big Ben 10 guy, but I'll watch it now just cause fuck it, I'll be so damn. That's cool. That's great. Which I've been like that fills me full of warm fuzzy feelings. Actually, I'm glad you told me that. That's I'm definitely remembering you. Remember me. Yeah.
The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization.
You got a good name for that.
The greatest crime in Forerunner history.
A crime against our creators.
Seize our secrets.
Marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization.
Okay.
Up and murdered your parents.
You drove us from our galaxy, our field of labor. You chased us across the middle distance. The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization. You drove us from our galaxy, our field of labor. You chased us across the middle distance to another home.
Okay, this is a bit wordy, and it's the same as this, so...
The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization.
Do not defend themselves.
The precursors did not defend themselves.
I feel like I've got to atomize this. I don't think this is what atomize means, does it? I'm subdividing.
They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization.
Okay, I might not need the second part here.
And like petulant children, you rose up and murdered your parents.
The precursor Mars did not defend
and murdered your parents.
The precursors did not defend themselves.
They did not defend themselves.
The greatest crime in Forerunner history. The precursors did not defend themselves.
Seize our secrets.
Okay, so... Actually, maybe that goes here.
Parents.
Seize our secrets.
Because that's kind of it. That's the secret in itself.
Secrets.
The precursors did not defend themselves.
Near light extension for an MCU Loki, but that's way down the road. One extension for Raven. Go for it. Go for it. I can't. Go for it. The Loki one, I'll be very excited to watch that. Bastila one, I want to play KOTOR eventually, so I don't wanna like spoil myself too much. I know like the big twist already, everyone knows, but I want to have the specifics fresh.
Seize our secrets.
So, but I entirely encourage you to use them.
The precursors did not defend themselves.
You know, once in a blue moon, I get people that aren't even in the editing sphere like commenting on those videos, like, damn, that's good. What's this? What's the thumbnail doing? I'm like, it's that. It's my little video. I'm like, hehehe. It's funny how you can see connections there.
Seize our secrets.
The precursors did not defend themselves. They marveled at the power
Okay, I need something in between.
of reorganization. The greatest crime in Forerunner, a crime against our creators,
Wait.
Murdered your parents,
I'm seeing a problem here.
gave design and life.
and like petulant children,
Seas.
you rose up and murdered your parents.
Seas our secrets.
I think maybe... Does this work better if I atomize it?
And like petulant children,
Seas our secrets.
you rose up and murdered your parents.
The precursors did not defend themselves. The greatest crime in Forerunner history,
That's the same narrator.
a crime against our creators. The precursors did not defend themselves, a crime against our creators. They marveled at the power of destruction,
These are secrets.
of reorganization. The greatest crime in Forerunner.
Okay, that doesn't really fit anywhere. But I've got a question. This isn't quite satisfactory.
You rose up and murdered your parents.
The precursors did not defend themselves, a crime against our creators.
Like, I could make it work in, like, the additional layers of audio and visual and atmosphere building, but right now,
They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization.
What's the direction of your Loki tribute, you think? Like, I'm assuming, like, TVA stuff will be involved. What's your envisioned, you have an envisioned, like, structure for it? Because there's a certain non-linearity to his development. Because, you know, he develops cleanly in one timeline, and then he is sort of started again in a timeline branching off from the Avengers movie. Taking in some of the sort of revelations from the original timeline. Of course, he's just watching them. That's... You got a plan?
Once we rose up against our very creators. What Forerunners do when their anger and fear takes charge. Those who created you were defied and hunted. The captive said. Most were extinguished. A few fled beyond your reach.
Actually, that's...
Warriors Layers refused this fate, and so we drove our creators to near extinction, and then to madness.
Long ago, when it became apparent that the precursors were about to erase Forerunners, there was a war, and Forerunners...
That the precursors hadn't simply faded from the galaxy as
Okay, well, I think I found my solution.
Those who created you were
3 minutes of 4 Avengers. Cut straight to cut straight to... Makes sense. Makes sense. That is the chronology of... What did the wiki call it? Time variance Loki? Or super time Loki or something? It's TVA Loki. I'm really interested in what they're gonna do with Loki and Thor in Doomsday. I know a part of me knows that I shouldn't have faith that Marvel are gonna pull it back when they had like 5 consecutive years of like, we are dropping the ball. We are dropping so many balls. Not all of the balls, but we're dropping way more balls than we used to be dropping. But he's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, You son of a bitch! You're alive again! What? You really are the worst. It's gonna... It better, like, fuck him. It, like, really get to him. And there better be a goddamn heartfelt scene where they really talk it out. They're gonna find the room in the movie to have that in there. And they better not put, like... They can have jokes in there, they can have some humor, but they better not fucking undercut it. For fuck's sake, I swear to God, if Marvel doesn't learn to pull back on undercutting the tension, ooh. That's old news. But I have to make a tribute for every Star Wars character. What? You promised your cousin what? What do you mean every Star Wars character? What do you mean everyone? That's a lot of characters. Obviously, not every glub shitter you can make a tribute for, but... Goodness me.
These are secrets.
you rose up and murdered your parents.
The precursors did not defend themselves, a crime against our creators. They marveled at the power of destruction, of reorganization.
Those who created you were defied and hunted. The captives. Most were extinguished. A few fled beyond your... You. were defied and hunted. The captive said, most were extinguished. A few fled beyond your reach.
The captive said, most were
Most were extinguished. A few fled beyond your reach. Creation. Your reach.
Okay. Ooh, I think I see how this would fit together. Right. So. I'm confused. I confused myself. No, I've unconfused myself.
The precursors did not defend themselves, a crime against our creators. They marveled at the power of destruction.
Those who created you were defied and hunted.
Okay, wait, okay.
You rose up and murdered your parents.
The precursors did not defend them.
Okay. Okay, so we put this part here, because it's like...
You rose up and murdered your parents.
Those who created you.
See, it's like...
Who created you.
And that leads into...
The precursors did not defend themselves.
Were defied and hunted.
They marveled at the power of destruction.
Most were extinguished.
Most works.
Of reorganization. A crime against our... Of reorganization.
A few fled beyond your reach.
Okay, I tentatively put this here. Maybe. But we've got the sequence of this
These are
part there.
secrets.
You rose up and murdered your parents.
Those who created you.
The precursors did not defend themselves.
Were defied and hunted.
They marveled at the power of destruction.
Most were extinguished.
Of reorganization.
A few fled beyond your reach.
A crime against our creators.
That doesn't really flow.
And like petulant children,
These are secrets.
you rose up and...
It could work here, though. Oh. I was thinking... I was thinking alphabetically. Ayla, Zaid, but now I'll just do the important ones until he forgets what I said, and then get back to my favorite franchise, DC. Ooh, once I've done every Batman film, I'll get to MCU, Halo, Star Trek. Sorry, I'll stop spamming messages. You spam messages all you want, man. Makes me feel less alone in the universe.
These are secrets.
A crime against our creators.
Star Trek. Favorite Star Trek.
These are secrets.
A crime against our creators.
I am a fan.
You rose up and murdered your parents.
Those who created you.
The precursors did not defend themselves.
Were defied and hunted.
They marveled at the power of destruction.
Most.
Of reorganization.
A few fled beyond your reach.
Power of destruction.
Most were extinguished.
Of reorganization.
A few fled beyond your reach.
Star Trek.
Once we rose up against our very creators. What Forerunners do when their anger and fear takes charge.
You're not alone. We're here, watching. True.
Their fears refused this fate, and so we drove our creators to near extinction, and then to madness.
The precursors hadn't simply faded from the galaxy, as Forerunners believed.
You are in fact here, and I do appreciate that.
It's been here
It's been here.
all that time, waiting. To meet you. In love.
In the dark.
Doesn't you get it?
Wait.
There's nothing you can give it.
What? Plot holes. Did I say a weird... Did I like mispronounce my words? I don't have the best diction, despite the fact that I've actor training.
The only thing the monster wants is for you to know
I must have I didn't say anything about plot
that
holes.
there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
Star Trek. What is your favorite what characters would you make Star Trek edits on? Because I actually have thought about doing Star Trek things. Specifically stuff for Kirk and Spock, because the original series is it's like I don't think it's the best one, but it is my favorite. I think DS9 is the best one. And you know, Spock has all this extra material in the newer shows, which is not to say that I think all of his extra material is all great, because I have very mixed feelings about Strange New Worlds. Very mixed feelings. Responding to my own comment. Okay.
What Forerunners do when their anger and fear takes charge.
Okay, wait, yeah, I don't need you anymore. Get rid of the visual noise so I can focus a bit better.
Once we rose up against our very creators.
Warriors refused this fate, and so we drove our creators to near extinction, and then to madness.
The precursors hadn't simply faded from the galaxy, as Forerunners believed.
There was a judgment.
Okay, all you three are going.
When the flood is finished, there will be nothing left of this place.
An alien virus.
And somewhere out there in the darkness.
Right. How about current series Strange New Worlds, Discovery, Prodigy, Lower Decks, Picard? All right, let me have a little stretch and think about that. Let me have a swig of water as well. You know, big words to say. Discovery. I found season 1 of Discovery to be nigh unwatchable. I didn't like it. I liked individual elements of it, like the concept of characters, the some moments of drama, but I found its kind of its insistence on the edginess and the downright mean-spiritedness and just the prevalent issues of like, that's just not a very well constructed little story bit you did there, and we have lots of these not very well constructed story bits, and we're fitting them together, and it's becoming a not terribly well constructed story of the episode overall. The fact that the first season went into the alternate universe prior to us really getting comfortable with these characters, thus the comparison between, you know, main and mirror versions of them is kind of wasted. The fact that it insists on being intimately tied in with established lore and stuff, whilst also being insisting on being entirely separate, almost entirely separate visually, and not making efforts to tie into the stuff until season 2, where it starts to trickle back in. Discovery season 1, I hated season 1. Oh boy, I think it's so not me. I don't like its vibe. I don't like its direction. I don't like its lore. I don't like its key jangling. I don't like anything about it. Actually, no. I thought I liked who Lorca was until I realized who he actually was as a character. Like, there's an idea of who Lorca was that would have appealed to me, but not ultimately. But it's too fucking edgy for my taste. Not in my Star Trek. I sound like one of them, don't I? One of those kind of fans. And whatnot. Season 2 has Pike, and he's the best part of season 2, and I'm happy they got him a spin-off show. I've got mixed feelings about the spin-off show, but in season 2 of Discovery, he's like actually perfect every single scene he's in. It's kind of shocking how good he is in that. But it at least like makes use of the fact that it's tied into lore so intimately. But it's still a bit like, much like, why do you got to be so stylistically different whilst also being linked into stuff, and in this point of the timeline, why couldn't you be set way in the future? And oh wait, season 3 is set way in the future, and season 3, 4, and 5 of Discovery is probably the show it should have been the whole time, and I think it would have had left less people with a bad taste in their mouth, and it would have been the better decision in hindsight. You really didn't need to make Michael Burnham Spock's sister. Cold take. You didn't need to do that. I don't mind. Not every piece of lore they add is offensive or anything, but They don't have. It wasn't like a consistent enough track record for it to be worth it, if you know what I mean. Picard, at the end of episode 1 of Picard season 1, I knew it wasn't gonna hit because they have Picard and they have the robot girl. They have the robot girl who's Data's daughter, sort of. And you got the notion of, oh, we're gonna go on an adventure. We're gonna learn things. We're going to have a sort of grandfather granddaughter Lee relationship. We're going to have mentor student. We're going to meet friends along the way, familiar faces, new people. We're going to learn life lessons together. The old will learn something from the young will learn something from the new, the artificial will learn something about the real world, and then they kill her. They kill her and they reveal she has a twin on the other side of the galaxy. And I just knew it was gonna suck because they threw out the most obvious, reliable, like good premise for the fucking show they could have in favor of something much weirder and more mean-spirited and just worse. Just worse. I was beginning to like, this girl, and then she's dead. And we gotta learn about a new version of her over there. And the rest of season 1 didn't terribly impress me either. Ultimately, no. Season 2, I think so many things about it, but I didn't like season 2 either. It's weird, strange, very strange. Why does the Borg Queen have like erotic tension with the depressed scientist lady, and why did they end up together? Why is that framed as like a good thing? I don't understand. Among other things. Someone agrees with me. Someone agrees with me. There's an infinitely yes, true. There's an infinitely better version of Star Trek Picard, where Star Trek Picard and his new granddaughter, who is sort of like Data's daughter, go on adventures to find out stuff, and that's the whole show. And you get to see her grow up as an artificial life form and learn about the world. It's like Data again, but like new, and with the and season 3 of Picard. Season 3 of Picard is better than the prior seasons. It is like massively reliant on jangling those keys. It's gonna jangle all of those keys, but fuck it, the parts of it that work hit so much better as essential, like, good, wholesome themes. It's weird that Picard is 92 years old and is having a I'm now a dad plot line. And it's also kind of weird that his son is canonically 24, but is played by someone who is in his mid-30s and looks like he could pass for 40. That's a bit strange too, but the actual, if you ignore the fucking ages and just go for what's going on screen, I think genuinely strong, wholesome, good fucking arc, the part at the end of season 3 where he resists the corruption from the Borg and Picard enters it with him, and he's gonna stay with him, and then he's like, it snaps him out of it, and he pulls the wires out. He saves his father from the underworld in that mythological way, fucking Jordan Peterson shit. It's good. It's good. I like that. That kind of the season 3. It got the emotions in me. I was disappointed when they didn't announce a spin-off. Maybe they still will, but they didn't for whatever strange reason behind the scenes. Lower Decks. Lower Decks grew on me, eventually. The very first scene, the first few episodes of Lower Decks, got me real worried that I'd hate the whole thing, because Beckett Mariner at the start was like the combination of every single, like, person I hated in college and didn't get along with. But also, like, all those traits in one person, and then made ultra competent and feeling like almost like an OC self-insert. And we're not talking about Halo. I'm going on a whole Star Trek rant. Whole insert. But over time, they gave her, like, they explored her faults. They explored this, that, and they made it work. They made it happen. And the cast grew on me. Rutherford and Tendi, very nice. Loved them. Boimler, pretty solid too. The general cast in general, and the overall Star Trek-y vibe, despite the fact that it's a parody of Star Trek, felt legitimate. It felt good. It felt more respectful than it was making fun of. It clearly loves the thing that it's sort of poking fun at. So overall, I'm okay with it. It's weird they didn't go longer with it. I don't know why they wouldn't. It's much cheaper than the other shows. They could go for another fucking 10 seasons if they liked. Um, and Lower Decks, I mean Prodigy. Prodigy, I like Prodigy. It's a kiddie show, and it dumbs it down just a teeny bit, just a little. But overall, I like Prodigy. I think it gets the whole exploration thing, gets the whole optimism, it gets this, gets that. It's got fairly tasteful like fan service. It works as its own little self-contained thing. It's I thought it was I was quite happy with it. I was okay with it. I'm happy that I don't know some kids are gonna get into Star Trek because of that show. That makes me feel happy. And Strange New Worlds, I have there's like a tally of things I hate about Strange New Worlds, things I love about Strange New Worlds, and they are an exactly equal amount. Um, I love certain characters and the way that they're explored and developed. I love certain particular episodes. I love certain lore developments it adds. I love its visual style, irrespective of the fact that it's not quite easy to place in the original series era, but it's much easier, and I can see that they're not like taking the piss with it. But then they've got all the retcons, all the retcons. The fact that Pike is just kind of a bit worse than his version in Star Trek Discovery, and Loki they make him maybe like accidentally a bit incompetent in ways that I don't really like, particularly in like the first 2 seasons. Um, Spock. Spock does nothing but pine over girls the whole show, and that's cringe. That's bad. I was like excited, like, ooh, we get to see we get to get granular with like exploring all this backstory stuff. But then, but but then like, oh, he rebounds from his wife to be and goes immediately to chapel. She sings a song about breaking up with him, and then immediately goes to La'an. It's it's why his relationship with La'an. It's not even like firmly grounded. It's like a show don't tell thing. Um, it's the moments that I detached from the romance thing where they explore Spock aren't necessarily all better either. Maybe they stumble upon a Halo ring on Strange New Worlds. Who knows? They fucking could find a hoop shaped thing, and that's like totally a Star Trek premise. They find the Halo ring. Um, they explore it for a bit. They find the flood. They realize that this Halo ring is designed to destroy the flood, and then they have to contain. They have to destroy the ring in order to stop the flood. And they have to. Then they lament over the loss of this ancient ring world and what it could have told them about the universe. That's totally a Star Trek plot. I feel like if they did a full-on Star Trek crossover, of like I don't know, the Enterprise D ending up in the Halo world, it would be more like it enters the Human Covenant War, it has to work out what the fuck is going on, and subsequently has to solve the issue. Like somehow it discovers the true form of the Halos and convinces the Covenant of it. It informs humanity of the nature of the Forerunners and their connection to them, and they get to have some cool stuff where like Cortana talks to Data, or things like that. A more interesting one is if the Enterprise D entered like Dune, which is like such a stark change, and they'd be automatically the most technologically advanced person there, and also their very technology would be considered heretical to everyone there, and it would be like Data interacting with anyone in Dune is fascinating as a concept, because their whole like kill all of the thinking machines. Whatever, that's just an aside. Best of both universes. Yeah, I think Halo and Star Trek low-key could have a very cool crossover. Anyway, had a little distraction there, but it's okay. Fun distraction.
They marveled at the power of destruction. Most were extinguished. Of reorganization. A few fled beyond your reach.
Okay, I might cut that down a little bit. But in the next section, which is...
Short chain molecules.
Okay, so next part is about them turning into dust.
It's been here
You've been here
all that time.
all that
Waiting.
time, waiting.
To meet you. In the dark.
Okay, yeah, that seems like a little section there.
There's nothing you can give it. The only thing the monster wants is for you to know
That there's nothing in the world,
that there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
nothing you can ever love that we can't take away. Indeed, that's how it be.
Short chain molecules, relatively simple and apparently inert, organic, yet neither alive nor capable of life.
Creation continued. A few
Okay, wait, let's just move all this stuff over here, because I want to show how they've come back.
A few
creation continued.
A few were spared. Some adopted new strategies for survival. They went dormant. Others became dust that could regenerate our past forms. Time rendered this dust defective. It brought only disease and misery. But that was good. We saw the misery and found it good.
Okay.
You must call us nothing. We do not exist. No one must ever know that we do not exist.
Wait. There's, where did I put it?
Is that to be our punishment?
It is the way of those who seek out the truth of the mantle. Humans will rise again in arrogance and defiance. The flood will return when they are ripe and bring them unity. Forerunners will fail, as you have failed before. Humans will rise. Whether they will also fail has not been decided.
Okay, did I
Yet now, here at the end of the galaxy,
did I delete a thing by accident? I can go get it again. I did delete it by accident. There we go. There we go. Okay, so cut. Let me just move that over here. Okay, so now, yep.
A few fled beyond your reach.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Okay, that's a good way to put it over.
A few were spared. Some adopted new strategies for survival.
Okay, that's...
They went dormant. Others became dust that could regenerate our past forms. Time rendered this dust defective.
Okay.
They went dormant. Others became dust that could regenerate our... They went dormant.
Instead, okay.
The dust and spores.
You must call us nothing. We do not exist. No one must ever know that we do not exist. You did not hear us. Then we became the lost ones. Now we call ourselves nothing.
Okay, actually I didn't delete it. I just had it over there. Whatever. A little Star Trek rant over.
Spores become shores.
Oh look, the new book. I got stuff from the new book too.
We sprang forth. Vessels of eternal light. We grew from dust.
Okay. Because I wanted to put just a little bit of endless lore in there, in the way that it intercedes with the flood. We don't know a lot about them yet, but the new book gave us just a teeny
Now
bit.
we call ourselves nothing.
A few fled beyond your reach.
A few were spared.
Okay.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
Okay, fine.
Of reorganization.
A few. Most were extinguished.
Of reorganization.
A few fled beyond your reach.
A few were spared.
Okay, I might... Maybe I'll ultimately just remove one of those.
A few were spared. Some adopted...
Now you must call us...
Ourselves, that's nothing. And that...
Beyond your reach.
A few were spared.
Now we call ourselves nothing. Call ourselves nothing.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
It's been here. It's been here. All that time, amount.
Okay, all that time.
All that time, waiting. To meet you. To meet you. the dark.
A few were spared.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
It's been here.
Actually, this probably works after they're better. It's like, right, because I need certain formulations of sentences to be.
They went dormant.
They went dormant. See, I need that because otherwise the
Short chain
oh.
Others became dust that.
Okay, I need the comparison to others became dust because otherwise it won't make sense as a complete thing.
Adopted new strategies for survival. A few were spared.
It's been here. All that time. Waiting.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
All that time.
They went dormant.
They went dormant, so that'll be followed up by saying
dormant.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Okay, so that works. That works. That kind of fits together.
Others became dust that could regenerate our past forms.
I could shorten that down though. There's a way to do
The
it.
dust and spores.
Because then I lose that.
You must call us nothing. We do not exist. No one must ever know that we do not exist. You did not hear us.
Okay, don't need that.
Spores become shores. We sprang forth. Vessels of eternal light. Spores become shores.
Okay, that's...
We grew from dust.
We grew from dust. Actually, no, I think I do want that at all. Because I just want a little flash of the endless there.
Spores become shores. We sprang forth. Vessels of eternal light.
Halsey, I know, but I don't want John to be protagonist of Halo 7. I just want the franchise needs something new and exciting. I hear you. It seems weird for a Halo Infinite sequel, which its ending kind of baits, not to have him be a pretty big focus. I could see him being a supporting player potentially. You could change over to a like a Reach thing where you have there's a character in lore, but maybe they're a bit more of a classic chief or a Noble Six type where they don't have a lot of stuff to take your immersion out because they're you, but you can control how they look. That'd be cool. That'd be neat.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
All that time.
They went dormant.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Others became dust that could regenerate our past forms.
Now we call...
All that time.
They went dormant.
Now we...
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
Okay, I can probably just...
Others became...
If I just snip that bit off at the end.
Became dust that could regenerate our past forms.
Actually, that there I can make that work. I can just snip it off so it fits a little better. A little bit of editing. Imagine that.
Strategies for survival.
All that time.
They went dormant.
Now we...
Yeah, that doesn't really... Now we call ourselves nothing. For survival.
The dust and spores.
Dust and spores.
Spores become shores. We sprang forth. Vessel forth.
Okay, so yeah. I just little endless law thrown in there.
For survival.
The dust and spores.
Spores become shores. We sprang forth.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Short chain molecules, relatively simple and apparently inert, organic, yet neither alive nor capable of life. Creation continued.
We grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Spores.
Okay, maybe if that goes here, and then
Short chain molecules, relatively simple and apparently inert, organic, yet neither alive.
that doesn't really go anywhere. That doesn't really go anywhere. That's like me thinking maybe it could be a larger thing, but it's not.
We grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Spores become shores. We sprang forth.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
And your use trying to understand them. In the meantime, yeah, that's more or less what I expect. Yeah, that's more or less what I'd expect from Halo 7. That and seems pretty confirmed that Jaeger Domnai is gonna be big villain guy. God, it would be so funny if they kill him in the first mission. It would be so funny if they do it again. If they do a Halo 5 all over again. Like, they've started a plotline, someone new comes in. They fucking kill this Sangheili fella over here that recently just got a bit of development in the books to, like, big him up. And would have been part of an additional campaign in the way that, what's his name was.
Spores become shores.
Now we call ourselves...
The dust and spores.
Spores become shores. We sprang.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
Spores become shores.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
We sprang forth.
All that time.
A few were spared.
It's been here.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
We grew from dust.
All that time.
We sprang.
All that time.
We grew from dust.
Wouldn't mind if, although honestly, as a person just here for the lore, I wouldn't mind if it became book franchise, but I would still love new games. Halo's just more consistently successful from a critical perspective, narrative perspective, as books in like the last 10 years. Wait, no, 14 years, I'd say. The books don't have to deal with, I don't know, like, it be having a bloody game attached to it, and it having all these issues of development, and all these technical aspects, and this and that, and competing issues. It can just have someone that comes in and says, I like this story, I want to add to this story, hear this story. There's an alternative universe where, I don't know, maybe it's like Warhammer, and it tells most of its story in books and stuff, and it's just like a tabletop game. And there isn't like there's no controversy about books in the Warhammer lore. People are like, oh, there's books, I can go read some if I want. There's like loads of them. There's fucking hundreds. All the Halo studios derived from Halo 3, Halo 3 for Free, and Halo Combat Evolved remake coming to Halo Campaign Evolved. We might be okay to stick to books for a while. The crazy thing is that 343 started out as just the part of the Halo apparatus that made the books. That was their only job at the start. They did like the other out of media stuff, like Halo Legends and the motion comics, and then they became the whole thing. I don't know why they thought they could expand like the media department, the story department, into the whole game department. I don't know why Microsoft didn't get like a different whole studio and didn't merge it in with that. You'd think like them keeping them separate would work, but no. I guess it's a certain brand synergy to having them be together, but
For survival.
All that time.
We grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Spores become shores.
Now we...
We sprang forth.
Became dust that could regenerate our past forms.
Waiting.
Time rendered this dust defective.
We sprang.
The dust and spores.
Spores become shores.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
We sprang forth.
Okay, wait, yeah, this can be a...
Time rendered this dust defective. It brought only disease and misery. But that was good. We saw the misery and found it good.
Sprang forth.
Waiting. To meet you. In the dark.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
We grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Spores become shores.
Now we call ourselves nothing.
We sprang forth.
Time rendered this. It brought only disease and misery. But that was good. We saw the misery and found it good.
Creation continued.
There was.
Okay, wait. I think we're almost cresting the hill here. There's like one more little. No, I don't think I need you. I'll cut you to being over here. If I just move around a couple things. Just move around this over here. You know what I think would be really interesting as a thing Halo could do? A show sort of in the vein of what the Fallout show is doing right now. Conceptually, at least. I know Fallout show is a little bit controversial in the actual Fallout lore, like hardcore fan base.
We grew from dust. Spores become shores.
Time rendered this dust defective.
We sprang forth.
It brought only disease and misery. But that was good.
Okay, wait.
We sprang forth.
It brought only disease.
What if instead of that?
Misery.
Spores become shores. We
Waiting. All that time.
We grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Spores become shores.
Waiting.
We sprang forth.
Okay, wait.
It brought only disease.
Forth.
Time rendered this dust defective.
To meet you.
But that was good.
Wait. Wait, I put it in the wrong order. Wait.
It brought only disease and misery. We saw the misery and found it good. But that was good.
Forth.
Time rendered this dust defective.
To meet you.
This dust defective.
To meet you.
It brought only disease and misery.
In the dark.
But that was good.
Nah, that doesn't quite work.
We sprang forth.
Time rendered this dust defective.
Become shores.
Waiting. It's been here.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
All that time.
We grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Spore.
Okay. Okay, what about a Halo show that somehow had the best of both worlds of having all the main iconography,
The dust and spores.
Waiting.
Spores become shores.
but was within canon and theoretically not contradictory, and also not a straight adaptation?
We sprang forth.
Like, it wouldn't just be the Chief's story.
Time rendered this dust defective.
To meet you.
It brought
Spores become shores. We
Like, what if you could, like, I was thinking about what if you could have a character, looking at what character could theoretically be involved in the major events that are in, like, that make up the core of the original games, which I feel like you need to do, because in order for a show named Halo to make sense as a show called Halo, you would have to include the Halos, and the Halos don't turn up until the last year of the Human Covenant War. Only 2 of them are properly present, not counting the one created in Halo 3 at the Ark. And so you'd have to, for like to have a proper resolution to a thing, you'd have to have some parallel story that tastefully interweaves with the main one, about someone other than the Chief, but occasionally encountering the Chief. Why not? On Installation 04, on either Installation 05 or High Charity, or both, and then on the Ark. So you'd have to work out ways for some new character to be relevant to, I don't know, let's say the Fall of Reach, and then ends up on the Autumn going to Installation 04 and doing that battle. Find a way for that person to survive, or that little group to survive, other than our already established like survivors of 5 survivors now. No, 6 counting Linda, of human people that go to Installation 04. Somehow put them in to the events of Halo 2 and then Halo 3, maybe like the books in between as well. Weave it all together. Is that possible? And I've been thinking a whole bunch about that, and I came up with this crackpot idea of like one of the early Spartans that tried to escape in the Halo Legends Homecoming, where they all escape and and 2 of them try to shoot themselves in the head. What if one of them canonically lives, and like doesn't shoot themselves but like tries to, and the other one like does and is dead? What if that was like a cover story and they didn't die, and now suddenly you've got this like additional Spartan that maybe is like on the periphery in the control of Oni or whatever, and they're going out and doing stuff during the Human Covenant War as like a Spartan person, Black Ops guy, and they're on, and they have like connections with like the main cast. Like Halsey would probably be in season 1, and the Chief would be all throughout, and you have there's reason to have connections with them, reasons to talk to them, reasons to like interact with them. If you could somehow weave them into the narrative of the original trilogy, that they were just off screen the whole time, could you make that work? And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm half tempted to try and like make a video very much out of sight of my genre of editor to make it happen.
All that time.
we grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Waiting.
Spores become shores.
Time rendered this dust defective.
We sprang forth.
It brought only disease and misery.
To meet you.
But that was good.
In the dark.
We saw the misery and found it good.
Okay, that's coming together in a way I like. But I've been thinking about this idea for a little while, and I keep going back and forth. I expressed it on like the Discord server and stuff. That I feel like it's like vaguely viable as a concept. Gotta go to work, but first 3 things: stream schedule, favorite Vader lines from the book. Stream schedule. We're doing this again on Friday. I'll work out fairly consistently. I'm gonna doing it 9 p.m. for me, at 9 p.m. GMT British time. Favorite Vader lines from the book I haven't, I might have missed and somehow never mentioned. I found your channel through Vendetta, and wait, the short film I was in. You were great. That's I'm an actor. If those on the VOD and those ever watching, Vendetta's a short film I was in, where I play a person who is upset that their sister got like abused by someone, whatever. But answer your question. Doing again Friday, same time. Gonna try and do this a few times a week. Same time, 9 p.m. every time. I've got lots of things going on, spinning lots of traits, so I can't guarantee certain days, but yeah. And like favorite lines from the book, it's from the book I was talking about earlier was No Prisoners by Karen Travis, which is a Clone Wars time novel. There's a section where Anakin's section of the book concerns him being guilty over his marriage to Padme and like the shirking of his responsibilities in that way, and how that interacts with like his thoughts on the Jedi and his relationship to his men, and the fact that like he has to like leave he's like having a little like sneaky holiday with Padme, like to be with her for a bit, and then Rex calls him and says, "Sir, we got a fucking situation," and he's like, "Well, I'm coming to help you," and he feels bad about the fact that he was with Padme when his men needed him, though he wouldn't have known beforehand. And there's another part of that book where he meets a bunch of Jedi who are like a sect outside of the main Jedi Order. They're like present in other like older Legends books. Karen Travis like inserted them into Clone Wars. It's like, here's what they were like earlier in the timeline, and they just do romance. They're just okay with like getting married and shit, and they're like healthy about their emotions, and they're straightforward, and they don't immediately fall to the dark side, and all the lines regarding like what these Jedi like sense from Anakin and what he's going to become, and what Anakin like he's seething when he realizes, wait a minute, you can be married and you won't fall to the dark side. That's just a thing, and I wasn't told. That was just suppressed from me. It's not a big deal. These people, there's like hundreds of them, and they're fine. The fuck? That's a thing. Is it a Legends? It is Legends. It is a 2009 book that came out in between season 2 and 3, and I think is set between season 2 and 3 of the Clone Wars, written by Karen Travis, same lady who did the Republic Commando novels and some Halo ones as well. We'll watch that in the morning. Yeah. Yeah, Vendetta. If anyone watching the VOD, look up Vendetta short film 2024, and you'll see my face in the thumbnail, among other things. Yeah. It's a Legends book. It's a good one. It's a relatively short one as well. It's only like 7.5 hours long as an audiobook. It's very concise. Comparing to a lot of other Karen Travis's work. But yeah, it's got some interesting things in it. For Anakin, I was very happy with how she kind of worked with him as a character. It's a great film. Thank you. I mean, I wasn't in control of like the cinematography. My boy, he was such a good cinematographer. I've been in a lot of student short films, a lot of them. Most of them are like archived, like private links that I just have on my like film reel and stuff because I want to advertise myself as an actor. He was the most organized one I've ever encountered. See you Friday. Very well. Very good. That fella. Maker of Vendetta 2024. Short film. Great stuff.
There's nothing you can give it.
If I do say so myself.
Wait. There's nothing you can give it.
Let me just Wait, no. There we go.
The only thing the monster wants is for you to know.
Right.
That there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
That's a good line, to be honest. Like concerning the characterization of the Gravemind precursor primordial, like this is what the Flood wants and stuff, like ultimate revenge in the galaxy. For reasons not even entirely understood after the Forerunner trilogy, after you read it. Like, it seems so disproportional.
Need to know.
Like, one of your species, one of your creations turned against you and killed you. Like, tried to kill you. And you let it happen, seemingly, because you were fascinated by it. And subsequently, you were then...
away.
Like, spell doom for everyone in the galaxy for all time, because you just want to turn the universe into a melting pot of suffering. And that's the plan. That's like what you're gonna be doing with it. It's like an act of vengeance so unbelievably terrible that it's like it's just the font of all misery. It's so unbelievably evil. Was this the plan the whole time? Was this? I've only gotta organize some files, so you're still streaming in an hour. I'll be back. I might not be streaming in an hour. It is quite late for me. And I might actually be done with this section of organizing clips in a certain order by then.
There was a judgment of my makers, and they were found wanting. The flood was their judgment.
When the flood is finished, there will be nothing left of this place.
An alien virus.
And somewhere, out there in the darkness, the enemy may be loose.
If I go to clip attributes, and oh, it's already stereo. If I bring it down here, suddenly I can AI voice it. Yes, right, and I can just put it down a little bit.
And somewhere, out there in the darkness, the enemy may be loose.
What if I just...
And somewhere, out there in the darkness, the enemy may be loose.
That's good enough for now.
An alien virus.
When the flood is finished, there will be nothing left of this place.
Okay, just right. So, these are the main ones.
In the dark.
We saw the misery and found it good. We saw the misery and found it good.
There was.
Found it good.
There was a judgment of my makers.
There's nothing you can give it.
The flood was their judgment, and they were found wanting. Was a judgment of my makers.
There's nothing. The only thing the monster wants is for you to know.
And found it good.
There's nothing you can give it.
There was a judgment of my makers.
So close.
The only thing the monster wants is for you to know. For you to know.
And they were found wanting.
That there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
The flood was their judgment.
Okay, so the question is it better to have
That
this?
there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
Or
the flood was their judgment.
As the final one, because either of them is an option.
We saw the misery and found it good.
There's nothing you can...
There was a...
To meet you.
But that was good.
In the dark.
We saw the misery and found it good.
There's nothing you can give it.
Kind of like the transition of...
We saw the misery and found it good.
There was a judgment of my makers. Judgment of my makers.
Nothing you can give it.
And they were found wanting. Found wanting.
The only thing the monster wants is for you to know. Is for you to know. The wants is for you to know.
The flood was their judgment. Judgment.
That there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
When the flood is finished, there will be nothing left of this place.
An alien virus.
And somewhere out there in the darkness, the enemy may be loose.
Okay.
When the flood is finished, there will be nothing left of this place.
Alright, that line isn't as strong as I thought it was.
An alien virus.
I was thinking of putting that in between, like...
The flood.
The flood. An alien virus.
Was their judgment.
The flood. An alien virus.
The flood. What?
Like maybe there's a little collection of...
When the flood is finished.
There'll be nothing left of this place. Maybe there's like a quick succession of... Because these, like, I'm not quite seeing how they're going to be coming together yet.
An alien virus.
There we go.
And somewhere.
When the flood is finished.
An alien virus.
Was their The flood.
When the flood is finished.
An alien virus.
There will be nothing left of this place.
And they'll all be echoing and going
There will be
into each
nothing
other.
left of this place.
Was their judgment.
That there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
And somewhere out there in the darkness, the enemy may be loose.
There's nothing you can give it.
And they were found wanting.
The only thing...
The flood.
When the flood is finished.
An alien virus.
There will be nothing left of this place.
Was their judgment.
That there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
Okay. I think that's my entire little sequence, including a bit at the beginning, which was there already. How much is that? That's 52. That's 4 minutes. Damn.
It's very old. The monster.
The precursors? The precursors? Who were they?
We called ourselves the Veiled Ones.
Ancient masters.
Then we became the Lost Ones.
An ancient, transsentient species long since gone from the galaxy.
Precursors were powerful.
Ancient for humans, but also for Forerunners.
Older than the light.
Ancient beyond our measure.
Older than this rock.
Those who gave you breath, and shape, and form.
Older than your god.
Some say that long ago, they shaped Forerunners in their image.
Those who created us.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
Who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
The originals.
I can see the...
No. Wait. What's that?
Those who gave you breath, and shape, and form.
Older than your god.
Some say that long ago, they shaped Forerunners in their image.
Those who created us.
Creators of all life in our galaxy.
Who formulated the very concept of the mantle.
The originals.
I can see their rules written in our genetic codes.
It knows us.
They made Forerunners. They made humans.
We are creatures of precursor law down to the very chains of molecules within us.
Inside and out.
They made thousands of other species and erased them when they felt the need.
We announced to your kind long ago that you were not the chosen ones to receive the mantle, the blessing of rule and protection of life and change that thinks.
The decision is final.
That blessing was to be given to others,
Humans will replace you.
Humanity will be tested next.
Smells our fear.
You could not accept our judgment, could not bear up under your inferiority.
We took away the mantle of responsibility.
So you reached out and did what we never expected from those we gave design and life.
And like petulant children,
Seize our secrets.
A crime against our creators.
you rose up and murdered your parents.
Those who created you
The precursors did not defend themselves.
were defied and hunted.
They marveled at the power of destruction,
Most were extinguished.
of reorganization.
A few fled beyond your reach.
A few were spared.
It's been here.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
All that
You know what?
A few fled beyond your reach.
You know what? We don't need that section. I've decided.
A few fled beyond your reach.
it's been here.
Some adopted new strategies for survival.
All that time.
We grew from dust.
The dust and spores.
Waiting.
Spores become shores.
Time rendered this dust defective.
We sprang forth.
It brought only disease and misery.
To meet you.
But that was good.
In the dark.
We saw the misery and found it good.
There was a judgment of my makers,
There's nothing you can give it.
and they were found wanting.
The only thing the monster wants is for you to know.
The flood.
When the flood is finished,
An alien virus.
there will be nothing left of this place.
Was their judgment.
That there's nothing you can ever love that it can't take away.
Okay. I might make adjustments to it, but that feels like the sequence. I think that's I think that'll do it for the moment. I will probably do a bit more editing tonight, but I'm gonna be doing it's gonna be like busy work or organizing, you know, stray clips and so. Yeah. All right, so thank you for tuning in. Those that tuned in. Thank you for watching the VOD. Those who are checking out the VOD. Thank you for enduring my rants about Star Trek at one point because I was prompted to, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm ready to let loose on that." Yeah. Bit of sequencing. So on Friday there'll be some more. There'll be some more of that. Won't that be nice? Yeah.